Welcome students. Our today's topic will be consonants of English. In our last class we have already talked about organs of speech, and these organs of speech you must remember because these organs of speech are involved in the production of consonants and vowel sounds. We have already talked about that. So have a brief recap of the last class. We have vocal cords here, then we have epiglottics, pharynx, soft palate, hard palate, teeth reach. All these organs of speech are involved in the production of different sounds, and the manner of their articulation, the voicing of their articulation are all taken into account while studying the articulatory phonetics. So today we will discuss the consonants of English, and in this chart we have talked about place and manner of articulation. In place we have bilabial, labiodental, dental, alveolar, post-alveolar, palato-alveolar, palatal, velar, and then glottal. So these nomenclature are given according to the organs of speech involved in the production of a particular sound, particular consonant. Bilabial means when your lips are involved in the articulation, those sounds are called bilabial sounds. You can take for example ma and pa, ba, and further wa. So these sounds are bilabial sounds because your lips are involved in the production of that sound. You can just check for yourself by pronouncing these words, these letters, these sound systems: ma, pa, ba, wa. These sounds are bilabial sounds. Then we have labiodental. Labiodental means when our lower lip touches the upper teeth, we produce labiodental sound. Fa and va. Fa, you can just pronounce that sound, fa and va. You can see that your lower lip is moving towards your upper teeth, so that is labiodental. Then we have dental, when both your teeth are touched and involved in the production of a sound. Tha and the. Actually most of the Indians are in the habit of pronouncing this sound in a wrong way. That's why you will have a difficulty. Tha, when your both the teeth touch each other and then with the pressure of tongue it opens up, this sound should be produced. So then move forward, we have alveolar. Alveolar means teeth ridge, where your teeth meets your palate, hard palate. That place is called alveolar, and so when your tongue touches that place in the production of a particular sound, that sound is called alveolar sound. Na, ta, da. Just notice the position of tongue in your mouth and what place it touches naturally. Sa, ja, la. Mostly in the production of all these sounds, our tongue moves towards the same position, and that position is, that place is alveolar in our mouth, in our organs of speech, and so these sounds are called alveolar sounds. Then we have post alveolar. When tongue moves slightly upward to the alveolar position, we have post alveolar sound. And then we have palato alveolar. Palato alveolar means the tongue again moves still further, still upward to pronounce this word. You can just notice cha, ja, cha, ja, sha, and za. So these sounds are palato-alveolar. Then we have palatal, means your soft palate. Your tongue moves towards your soft palate. That sound is called palatal sound. Then finally your velum is involved. Then we have nga and ka and ga, where our that position means where the palate starts, that's the, you can say, the place where your palate begins you can notice in the diagram, this place is called velum, and so when this place is involved in the production of a sound, this sound is called velar sound. And then where our glottis are involved, we can call that sound glottal sound, ha. You can notice the by pronouncing the sound ha, 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 you can just feel a contraction in your throat just above windpipe, and so that sound is glottal sound, ha. So now let's talk about the manner of pronunciation, manner of articulation of these speech sounds. So we have three nasal sounds where the air escapes through nasal cavity and not through the oral cavity, and so these sounds are called nasal sounds. We have ma, ma. You can notice that both the lips are involved. We have already noticed that, and now you can notice that the air passes through your nasal cavity, ma, na, ga. Here in Indian phonology, we don't have this type of sound. Actually, where we have such sound, N and G alphabets are involved to produce that sound generally in English. So you can understand from this example, but this is pronounced sing, not like Hindi anga. It's slightly different from that, so you should notice that, and you should keep in your mind these things. So next we have plosive. Plosive means stops. It is also called stops, where the air is obstructed completely for a moment and then it is escaped. So these sounds are called plosives. Then you can notice pa and ba. Both the lips just come into contact with each other to obstruct the passage of air, and so when the lips open again, these sounds are pronounced, articulated, pa and ba. Similarly, our tongue touches our teeth ridge, ta and da. Then these sounds are pronounced, and similarly, ka and ga. Ka and ga. Our tongue moves towards our velum, and so these sounds are pronounced. So you can notice that we have 3 nasal sounds in English and we have 6 plosive sounds in English. Then we have affricates. In affricates, like plosives, the passage of air is completely obstructed in a way, and then it is released gradually. So the obstruction is released gradually. That is the only difference. In plosives, the obstruction is released at once, and in affricate, the obstruction is released gradually. Cha, ja, you can notice this. You can recognize this sound, but here you can have, being an Indian and particularly Bihari, you can have problem in the recognition of these sounds, because in English we have 3 similar sounds and in Hindi we have only ja. In Urdu we have ja, slightly different, and in English we have 3 similar sounding sounds, similar sounding only to Indian ears. So we can have examples to understand. Actually, the J alphabet coming in the beginning of a word give this sound, affricate ja. And then if we compare this fricative sound and this one, so we have very few words in English with these words. You can take for example uh, vision, vision. So SI here gives this sound, and in this sound we can have all the words starting with alphabet Z, Ju, Jum, all these J sound gives this sound. And here we have judge, jam, all these in all these words we have this J. So you can now recognize the difference between these three similar sounding sounds. Fricative. We next have fricatives. Fricatives. In fricatives we have an approximate structure, not complete closure, approximate closure. So we have a gap where the air passage escapes with an audible friction. So you can see for yourself by pronouncing the word for. There is a difference between English for and Hindi for. Tha. Hindi for is bilabial, while English for is fricative and labiodental. So we have for. Our lower lip comes towards our teeth, and then the air passes through that space, and we have this sound for. In Hindi we have pha. Our both the lips come together to pronounce this sound. So there is a difference. You can notice for yourself by pronouncing all these sound. Wa, we have similar thing, and dental, tha and da. Here this sound is like this, thin, tha, and here we have that or this, da sound, th. Both these sounds are denoted by th alphabets, but in accordance with the context, in accordance with the words where they are used, their pronunciation varies. They give different sounds, and you should recognize that as a student of English language. So next we have sa and ja, and then sha and ja. Then finally we have ha, glottal ha. We have already talked about these sounds. Then finally we have lateral. In lateral as well, just pronounced la sound, la. Here again we have a complete structure, la. So we have one lateral sound, and finally we have approximants. Actually we have only three approximant in English. This wa is pronounced very rarely, is found very rarely in English, so we only talk about these three approximants. These approximants are not actually consonants, they are pronounced like vowels, but they are actually, they take the marginal consonant position in the pronunciation of words, and that's why we take them in a separate category called approximants. Va, ra and ya. This sound is, that is written like J, is called ya. If you have university written, then this will be denoted by this sound. So we have these three approximants, and these are normally pronounced with the tongue position moved to a position that is required to pronounce the vowels following these sounds. Generally these sounds are followed by a vowel sounds, and so tongue position prepares for the pronunciation of that vowel sound, and in this course these sounds are also articulated. This is the general idea of the pronunciation of these consonant sounds. So we have three approximants. Now let's come to the voicing of the sounds. All the nasal sounds are voiced, means there is a vibration in your vocal cord. Then if we come to plosives, we have first one as voiceless, then we have voiced. Pa is voiceless and ba is voiced. Similarly, ta is voiceless, da is voiced, and finally ka is voiceless and ga is voiced. Same condition is here again in fricatives. Fa is voiceless and va is voiced. So in accordance with, on the basis of whether the vocal cords are vibrated or not, we decide the voicelessness or voicedness of a sound, means the voicing pattern of that particular sound. So I hope this lesson will help you understand the technicalities of the production of different consonant in English sound system, English phonetic system, and in the next chapter we will be prepared, you will be prepared for the learning of the production of articulation of vowel sounds. Actually, the vowel sounds, the articulation of vowel sounds are relatively a little more complex than the articulation of consonant sounds, because we have vowels, pure vowels, and then we have vowel glides where the movement of tongue from one position to another is taken into account, and all these things will be considered in our subsequent classes. So enjoy your lesson and just focus on your study.